Surely this is Nature Strip's biggest challenge so far, to come back from Royal Ascot, take on a great field of sprinters and try and go back-to-back in the Everest. Can he do it? Let's find out from owner Rod Lyons. Hi Rod, well let's get straight into it. Is this the biggest challenge of his career so far, Nature Strip?
I'd say for sure, Adam, for sure. He's like the heavyweight champion of the world, and every time he steps into the ring, he takes on another contender. Halfway around the world, he's come back to defend his crown against, the best sprinters in the world.
Was there a little bit, and we'll get into Royal Ascot in a moment, but was there a little bit in your mind about Royal Ascot could be the end with all the challenges of getting there and getting back? So to that point, is anything from now on a bonus?
The answer to that is yes. Before he left, we spoke as a group about the challenges that were in front of him and what the longevity of his career this might have on it. We spoke with Chris at length about it, and we knew it was a risk. But he's come back and he seems in terrific spirits and terrific health, so it hasn't done him any harm.
Are you more in awe of him than ever to be able to do that?
I really am, and I think most people who understand horses, and even going over to England and speaking to a number of the top trainers over there, they were in awe of looking at him, the way he had travelled, the way he had settled in, the way he looked in the mounting yard. And now to come back and be in that sort of condition, it's like someone running a marathon and then coming back and having to run another marathon.
It is remarkable. So what are Chris and James saying about him as another Everest gets close?
They are very positive. They're, you wouldn't say they're very confident. They're very reserved, both Chris and James. But he's worked tremendously well. But they're quietly confident. They think he's come back. He looks terrific. He's training terrific, trialling terrific. So, they're pretty upbeat.
So tell us about Royal Ascot, the accomplishment, the experience, the fun, the camaraderie of the trip.
Well, you'd need about 2 hours for that, Adam, but I'll try and bring it in précis. It was a thrill of a lifetime. It was a dream to go. The whole gang wanted to go. From the moment we got to the airport and started thinking about it to arriving in England, we took over the local hotel. We became locals there and friends with everybody, and we tipped at everybody in the pub. It was just a buzz to walk onto that race course, 300 years of history. It was just something that you dream of. It's something as a young boy from the backwoods town of Springvale to be at Royal Ascot. Is this really happening? Are we really here?
The greatest moment for you in racing so far?
Look, they're all great wins, and the great traditional races in Australia, to win them is a big thrill. But to go there, to take on that challenge, knowing it was a challenge, to take on the best in the world, and just to be in that aura, just to be there. I mean, I was nearly as close to this to touching King Charles and stuff like that. And I'm thinking to myself, I used to sell papers at the Springvale pub, and here I am about, I could touch Prince Charles. So it was a buzz and a half, and I'd have to say it was up there as a thrill to realise a dream. I'm at Royal Ascot, and we just won a race at Royal Ascot. This just was never going to happen.
Speaking of thrills, to finally get that monkey off the back and win the Everest last year. You'd had a few throws at the stumps.
Yeah, we had. The first year we got kicked out. We didn't quite have the form good enough. The next year we ran fourth. It was a great run to yes. And then the next year, nothing went right. James got thrown off at the barrier. Horse had a bit of mucus. Then last year, everything aligned. And it was a race we wanted to win. I think it is the greatest sprint race in Australia. It's a race that everyone talks about. In England, they're all talking about the race, all talking about the Everest. So to finally win it, and now to come back to defend it, it's a real thrill.
What makes the Everest so special to you?
Well, I guess 15 million has a fair bit to do with it, but it's the best sprinters in the land. Everyone starts talking about it from the moment the Everest finishes. They start talking about, have we got an Everest horse? The slot holders, the negotiations backwards and forwards, who's in, who's out. All that sort of drama leading up to it. It leads up to the excitement. Are we going to be there? And they do a fabulous job in the lead up to the race, the barrier draw, the dinner on the Thursday night. The day itself is fantastic. They've done a great job up there.
Now, tell us about Nature Strip, because it's easy to describe him as push button now, but boy, oh boy, that wasn't the case early on. It was an evolving story, his development.
There was times where we were going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. We didn't think we'd ever get his head right. He just wanted to jump and run and run and run, and we couldn't get him under control. And as fate would have it, we were the two top trainers, and things happened, and we ended up with Chris. And, it's fate. And we went to Chris, and he's got Stewie Williams, who's a brilliant horseman, and James McDonald, and they worked on him from day one to get him to come behind. We lost a couple of races. We lost a Doomben 10,000 from trying to get him to come back. And finally, their hard work and their perseverance to get him to relax, track work, get him in behind horses, work on him. And you've seen the improvement over the last 18 months. He's really harnessed that great enthusiasm, and he's using it at the right time of the race.
Stuart Williams, you mentioned, one of the unsung heroes of the Nature Strip story.
Absolutely. Welsh lad, hard to understand, especially if he's got a couple of Guinnesses.
Maybe he's a horse whisperer, though.
He might be, but he's wonderful. He's a wonderful horseman, but he doesn't leave Nature Strip's side. He rides him every time, bar for fast work when James comes and rides him. And he went to England with him, and he looked after him like you wouldn't believe. And he's played an enormous role in getting to harness this horse's ability, for sure.
And Rod, Nature Strip, any owner is only going to have one Nature Strip, but there's more layers to your involvement. You've had some other lovely horses along the way. Super Elegant, won 19 races, $2 million. Goodwood and a Doomben 10,000. Serious horse.
He was a fantastic horse. He was the first real good horse we had. And in those days, I didn't mind a bet. And he was a good punting horse, I can tell you, a real good punting horse. He was a fabulous horse.
Under the Louvre won you a Stradbroke, and a Blaze as well. You, at that moment of a Blaze a couple of years ago, you had the fastest horse in the world and probably one of the great stayers / jumpers in a Blaze as well.
Look, he was a wonderful horse, a wonderful thrill. Warrnambool, to be down at that carnival, I've been for a number of years. It's a fabulous carnival. And much the same as Ascot, I wanted to get a runner in the Grand Annual, and I would love to have won it.
Same ownership group almost as Nature Strip.
Yeah, basically the same ownership group. And it was a thrill and a half. He was a wonderful jumper, and unfortunately he had a tendon mishap, which we didn't actually see him go on to be one of the greatest jumpers we've seen. But that was a wonderful thrill as well. As you say, Under the Louvre, Zazman, they were wonderful, wonderful horses, and been lucky enough to always have a good horse in the camp, which gives you something to look forward to every day.
Well, let's close it out. What would it mean to go back and do it again in the Everest with Nature Strip?
It would mean one hell of a hangover on the Sunday, but all the guys are coming over, the whole gang's coming together. The English team will all be together again. It'll be a great lead up, and I can guarantee you one thing: win, lose or draw, the end result will be the same. At midnight, we'll be singing somewhere at some pub.
Can he do it?
I think he can.
Best of luck.
Thanks, mate.